Shall we start? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Good evening. Yes, I'm sharing my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now
No.
No, ma'am.
Yes.
you cannot
Yes,
see.
now.
You can see my screen, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So at the outset, I would like to thank Research Foundation of India and their associates for organizing this faculty development program and inviting me for a session. It seems that today is the last day of the session and of the FDP program, and you all have you all must have understood the different aspects of research very well. So I will do the winding up session where I will be telling you about writing the research paper and understanding the impact factor and the publication facets. If there is anything which you cannot understand in between, please feel free to ask me. So now every one of you can hear me properly and see my screen, yes or no?
Yes.
Now, generally, for a research paper, you will find that this 10 items are to be noticed. Number one is the paper title and followed by an abstract. Every research paper has an abstract, introduction, problem statement, research objectives and the hypothesis, review of literature, very, very important. Research methodology, very important. Every research paper should have innovativeness, how they're different from others. Even if it is 2 lines, that will work out. Then you do your research for a purpose. So what is the implication? What is the relevance of the paper? Conclusion. And nowadays, which is very important, is references and the plagiarism. Very, very important. Now I will go to the paper title. How should the paper title be? Now, generally, everyone feels that paper title is not very important, but it is not so. Because I feel this is the most challenging one to have to make the paper title, because after reading your paper title only everyone looks into the paper. So the paper title needs to be very challenging, and it needs to be brief, it needs to be clear, and it needs to be very, very meaningful. Now, generally, we do not prefer to have long titles. The titles should be maximum of 15 words. It should not be more than 15 words. You can say it is a mini abstract. Why do I call it a mini abstract? Because just after looking at your paper, we can understand what the paper has to say. It paints a picture about the paper, and moreover, you should make your title very, very simple so that it is easy to remember. And remember one thing: it is read the most. So we all think that paper title is not very important, but this is the most important point. This is the most important point. Now, if you really look into if you ask me my personal experience, I can tell you that making the title for me is also very challenging. And you will not believe, for every paper I write, I keep on changing the paper title. As I proceed with the title, I keep on changing it. So it is always preferable to start with a working title. Everyone, it's clear? Everyone, it's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
At the end, you can finalize the title, because the title is the first impression. As I said, it reflects the contents and it is attention grabber. The title will help you all to understand that what your paper actually is. Now, I've given you some examples of the paper titles. How will it be? Take, for example, number 1, I've given the impact of climate change on biodiversity. So I can really understand what is the paper about. The paper is about climate change and biodiversity. The title is not very fancy at all, but it helps me to understand the topic. The effects of social media on mental health, the role of education in reducing poverty. So they're very, very clear. They're very, very clear. So this is very, very important. Now, people have wrong ways of writing a paper title. Some make it very simple, some make it over descriptive now, and they use fancy words. Now, if you make it so descriptive, there will be no difference between a paper title and the abstract. You cannot make it very descriptive, not very fancy. And it, remember in your mind, it should never be more than 15 words. Now, you can ask me, where is the rule written? There is nowhere where the rule is written, but it is a oral rule that it should not be more than 15 words. And moreover, you should be very proper with the spelling, with the formatting, and and don't make the mistake of deciding the title first. No, start with the working title, complete the paper, and then again come back. And again come back. You will see that how the title looks. No brainstorming titles, no use of abbreviations. Keep it very, very simple, short, no use of fancy words, and start with the working title. Everyone is clear about the title of the paper, how you have to choose it, yes or no? Yes or no, my friends?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
yes, now we have completed the working title. We know and what is the title and how we are going to write the paper. So it's time to write the abstract. Now, before I come to the abstract, I would like to ask you a question. Tell me that whether abstract should be written first or the research paper should be written first. Tell me.
Research paper.
Yes,
Research paper, ma'am.
research paper always
Ma'am,
has to
first
be.
research paper.
Yeah, first should be research paper, because unless and until you write the research paper, how can you write the abstract? It is as simple as that. Why? Because the abstract contains parts of your research paper. And with due respect to everyone, in some of the conferences they tell you, आप paper तो आप abstract तो भेज दीजिए, paper बाद में भेजना. I cannot make them understand that I cannot write an abstract without writing the research paper, because the abstract contains some part of the research paper. Take, for example, the abstract contains introduction, which will come from the research paper. The abstract has objectives. The abstract has research methodology. The abstract has the conclusion, that what is the analysis, what is the conclusion. So if I do not write the, what to say, research paper, how will I draw my conclusion in writing the abstract? Am I clear to everyone?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so we know the paper title, we know the abstract. Now I'm coming to the actual part of the abstract. Now I'm coming to the introduction. What to write in the introduction. Now, when I talk of introduction, in the introduction, I
Ma'am,
call it yes,
I just wanted to ask one question because
yes,
there was a
or
discussion in the beginning of the session with respect to the abstract and why do the conferences and all ask for this abstract first. I guess so. The idea behind is that they are expecting you to have entire complete research paper ready, but
that's what I was
the
saying.
abstract
Mine,
yeah
that's
but the abstract submission part is just for the purpose of convenience, because people have the notion that if you submit the entire research paper well in advance, there might be an issue of your paper getting copied and being published by someone else before you do that. So that is the reason the expectation behind this conference is asking for the abstract, or to better term it as an extended abstract, is that they are expecting you to have completed the research process and entire research paper, but just to give a snapshot of the submission before it is being selected for presenting.
can I reply? You're coming from which
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
university, sir?
Yeah,
Coming
sure.
from which university, sir?
University of Mumbai.
University of which department?
No, I am from Jamnalal Bajaj.
You're from Jamnalal Bajaj.
Yeah.
Now, what happens, what actually happens, first of all, it is expected. It is expected you will write the research paper and then only give the abstract. But sometimes, quote and unquote, but sometimes people tell that a research paper is not ready, you can give the abstract. That is a wrong thing. So you have got me wrong. Number two, when I am giving you a research paper, there is no question of getting copied because I'm giving my research paper in a conference. In conference, there is a convener of the conference, there is a secretary of the conference who are duly respected and they have their own responsibility. And one of the responsibilities to that to respect everyone's research paper. It cannot get it copied, cannot get it copied. And moreover, it has to be plagiarism checked as well. How many, excuse me, did you get me right?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So that question of being copied, you can leave it aside. You can just leave it aside. Because that's the responsibility of the convener and the secretary, the conference secretary. Then what are they doing? There is a different publication committee also. What are they doing? They have to maintain the secrecy. If they cannot maintain the secrecy, I would advise you not to give a research paper in such a conference. Yes? That sounds fine?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So now we start with the introduction. I always call the introduction as the gentle beginning. Why do I call an introduction a gentle beginning? Because the introduction gives the background of the study. You are giving such a background of the study as if you are preparing the readers as if you're taking them for a journey of research. So your introduction should be written in such a way it arouses some interest among the readers, because research is something you don't write only for yourself. You don't do it for yourself. You do it for others as well. You do it for its relevance. You do it for its application. And that is why the background of the research, the introduction should give such a background of the research so that the readers get ready for a journey of research. They want to read your research. So we have the introduction ready, and now we are coming to the main aspect of the research, that is called the problem statement. If you do not have a problem, it cannot be a research at all. So the problem statement is, because in a research paper, generally you have a problem. You write from the problem, you write down the objectives, and after fulfilling the objectives, you write down, you try to find out a solution, work on the objectives and give a recommendation. So every research should have a problem statement. That is why it is said that problem statement is at the core of the research. Now, as I said, in a research, there must be a problem to solve the research. And this is the most excellent section of the proposal or of a research paper. Now, take, for example, the problem is the impact of climate change on biodiversity. So what are you doing? You are trying to find out the impact of climate change on biodiversity. It's very, very clear. Based on this, you can make your research objective. So unless and until there is a problem, there is no point of doing a research. So from the problem statement, the next topics which you will be doing, the subtopic in your research paper should be objectives. Objectives means the aims to satisfy. Okay, so the objectives must be, that means the goals, they should be very, very logical. The question arises of how many objectives you should have. Neither the objective should be too many, nor too less. Generally, we have 3 to 4 objectives. Less does not mean you have only one objective. Keep it the number less so that you can work it on more. And the objective should be written in proper statements, neither too big or too small. And at the same time, you should have such objectives which are achievable and measurable. You cannot make objectives, such objectives which cannot be achieved. So at the end of the paper, you don't draw a conclusion. So it has to be achievable and measurable. Now take, for example, I have the problem. I want to study about the perception of youth towards climate change in an urban space. So from here, I will draw objectives. So what type of objectives I can draw? Number one objective, to understand the level of knowledge of climate change. Number two, to analyze their contribution in the aspect of climate change. Number three, to recommend suggestions to bring changes and increase the awareness among the youth. So this type of from the problem statement, you can draw objectives, you can make objectives which are achievable in nature. Am I clear to everyone? Am I clear to everyone?
Ma'am.
Yes. Somebody's talking. Yes, please. Everyone, it's clear? Yes. So, friends, we have done the paper title, we have done abstract, but we have not written the abstract. Paper title also we have not finalized. We have come down to introduction. Now, introduction we have written, then we have written the problem statement. From the problem statement, we have written the research objectives. Now I'm coming to hypothesis. Now, hypotheses are actually assumptions. I'm sure there was a session on hypothesis in this FDP, yes or no?
Yes,
Yes
ma'am.
or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you already know how hypotheses are to be made. Either you have both null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. Take, for example, in null hypothesis, I say that there is no association between advertisement expenses and sales. And in alternate hypothesis, I say just the alternative one, that there is a positive association between advertising expenses and sales. So at the end of the research paper, either you accept null hypothesis and reject alternative hypothesis, or you reject null hypothesis and accept alternative hypothesis. Am I clear to you? Am I clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Every one of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, friends, we have done the introduction. We have done the problem statement. From the problem statement, you have written the research objectives, then the hypothesis. Now I come to the most important part of the research, that is review of literature. Review of literature means you have to find out the gap in the research. Unless and until you find the gap in the research, your research can never be so important. So you have to find out from your national and from international sources that whether anyone else have also worked in the same topic or not. If they have worked in the same topic, in which area they have worked. If they worked in the same area, what methodology they have taken, what was their objective, and what you think is the gap. So the gap of your research can only be found out from the review of literature. That is why review of literature forms a very important part of any research paper. As I said, it finds out the gaps. So in your research is important. So you have national as well as international. So with the help of the review of literature, you will find out whether your research paper is important or not. So you have written the introduction, the problem statement, the research objectives, the hypothesis, the review of literature. And now I'm coming to another section, very important section, that is the research methodology. That means what procedure you are taking to do the research. What is your methodology? In the methodology, generally, you cover many areas. First of all, you cover the coverage, that is the area of study. Then you cover the data sources. That means what are the sources of your secondary data. Then you cover the data collection. That means if you are collecting primary data, you have to write down the details of the collection. How are you collecting the primary data? Then the most important point is the data analysis. How are you analyzing your data? Whether you're analyzing it through Excel, or you're using any other qualitative ways, or you're using any softwares. Generally, you have pre-field, on-field, and post-field when you're doing a primary data survey. That means before the primary data, what did you do? On-field, for data collection, what did you do? And after you collected the data, what ways you're trying to analyze the data. So research methodology actually covers everything of your procedure, right from coverage to your data sources, to your data collection, to your data analysis. See, take for example, I am studying on Greater Mumbai. So what I have done, just a visual. Suppose mine is an international paper. No one knows exactly about Greater Mumbai, the different wards of Greater Mumbai. So I generally show it in this manner: world, India, Maharashtra, Greater Mumbai, and then with the wards. This is just an example. You can show your study area, if it is a general paper, you need not have a study area at all. But if you have a study area, you can always show it in this manner. When some visual comes in the paper, it always makes it more interesting. Now, I was talking of data sources. You can have you have to write about the sources of secondary data if you are collecting secondary data, or if you are collecting primary data, then you have to write the sources of primary data. Okay, there are several tools for data collection. Take, for example, if you're having questionnaires, you can either have open-ended questionnaires, or you can have close-ended questionnaires, or you can have a mixture of all the two. Or if you're doing a case study, that depends upon research, what type of methodology you will take. You can have a long case studies. For example, the management students mostly do it with case studies, or you have a short case study, or you have used review of literature also to prove a certain point or certain idea. So these type of case studies also can be taken up. Or in primary survey, you can also have interviews. So how you have taken the interview, either it is face-to-face, or it was a telephonic interview, or it can also be recorded, like in write-ups, or a podcast, or a short film, or a mental map. So different types of interviews are also there. So this all are covered in your research methodology. Please tell me if you have any questions or any queries. Any questions or any queries, please?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question with regard to the abstract.
Tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Most of the articles are said that the extended abstract. So how can you differentiate between a normal abstract and the extended abstract? What should be included in the extended abstract?
No, actually, in this one, in abstract, as I said, you write in, generally abstract is 10% of the size of the research paper. Generally, it is, and including the keywords. Okay, so you can, if it is of 2000 words, you have to write the abstract in 200 words. It is as simple as that. This type of equations are taken up. For extended abstract, in many of the conferences, extended workshop abstracts are not taken up. But if it is taken up, you can always divide it into the section as you're having the section of the research paper and write down the highlights. Simple. It is as simple as that.
Yes. Thank
Yes.
you. Yes, thank you.
But generally, it is abstract and the research paper. Mostly of the journals also, if you go, many of the journals nowadays are not taking abstracts also. They want only the research paper.
Yes. Thank you.
Isn't it? Yeah, yeah. But your research paper should always have these sections. Now, see, these are the normally I'm saying, but there can be some special research papers which can be an article type. So that is different, that differs. But generally, we have to have these type of sections for a research paper. Am I clear to everyone? Yes, am I clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, for every research paper you do, it is new. It is something because you have already found out the gap in your research. So it is something different from others. So this something different, it gives you the innovativeness of the research paper. So in short, in at least, if you cannot say, just highlight the gaps very properly. Okay, these are something new. And for scientific research papers, you always have an innovation, right? So that innovativeness come in. But you have to think on and how your paper is different from others. This will give you an impetus of writing a research paper over others, So something different it will be. General research papers, if you see, this innovativeness is not there. But please do add this research, this innovativeness. It is always very, very good. Am I clear to everyone? Am I clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have done the introduction. Number 2, what did we write after introduction, my dear? What did we write? What did we write? No one has written anything. Problem statement. From the problem statement, we have the research objectives and then the hypothesis. Then comes your review. Then comes your review of literature. Then comes your research methodology, innovativeness, and then your implications of your research paper. How it is, what is the importance, where it is implied. Whenever you do a research, either you're doing a research, you're doing a research to improve the society, or at the higher level, you can always do a research for the policymakers. So you have to write down the implication of your research paper. Then last, we come to the conclusion. In conclusion, you're writing the major findings. After writing the major findings, according to your objectives, you're writing down the recommendations. That means what should be done in future. So here, after writing the conclusion, you can always go back and write down the abstract, and you can finalize your paper title. With the conclusion, your research paper does not come to an end, because you have to write the references. Citation is already done in the review of literature, and then at the end of your research paper, you will have to write about the references. For references, you can adopt different styles that depends upon your subject, in which subject you are writing. So You have APA format, MLA format, Chicago format, Harvard format. These are some of the popular styles. For some law colleges, they have some other formats. So you have to write down the references. Now, after completing the research paper, the most important thing that comes in the picture, is the plagiarism. Now, nowadays, it has become compulsory to do a plagiarism check. That means to prove the originality of the ideas which you are expressing. The UGC rule says that only 10% will be accepted. More than 10%, if your paper is having plagiarism, it will not be accepted. Over here, you have to think about one thing, that many of us go for free online checking of the research papers for plagiarism. Please do not do that. When you do it for free online checking, it gets stored in the cloud. And when you're sending your research paper for a conference or for a publication, what happens? They check it in a licensed version. So when they check it in a licensed version, the cloud part is taken up as a plagiarism. So your plagiarism increases. So please do not do that. If your college does not have a plagiarism software, licensed plagiarism software, you can always go to your university and request them in the library. You can request them, or you can approach any colleges. You can approach colleges and you can request them to do the plagiarism test of your research paper for you, and they will be most happy to do so. But it's a request not to do it through free online checking. So, my friends, we started with the paper title, a working paper title. Abstract, we know what to write. Generally, it is 10% of the research paper. We started the research paper with introduction, then we came to the problem. From the problem, we have derived the objectives, then we did the hypothesis. So at the end of the paper, we can either accept one hypothesis and reject the other. We've done the review of literature to show the gap. Research methodology was followed. What are the sources of secondary data? If you are taking up primary data, then what are the tools of primary data? You have showed the innovativeness, the implication, the relevance of your paper. Then we have come down to conclusion, where you have written down the main points. What did you conclude? And then the recommendation. At the end, you have written the references, and then you have given your paper for plagiarism so that it can be plagiarism checked. With this, we complete the research paper. Whenever you're writing a research paper, please remember to keep it concise. Unnecessarily, don't make it long, crisp and original. Please check the language and the grammar. When you're formatting it, if the journal or the conference has given you the formatting idea, well and good. If they have not given you, keep it to Times New Roman. Font size should be 12 for the whole paper and 14 for the headings. Line spacing should be 1.5, margin 2 inches and left and 1.5 inches on the other side. This is the common formatting details of any research paper. So friends, I'm sure that you must be thinking of organizing your research paper by now. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Yes, any questions are there?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Bolo na.
Ma'am, if we want to check the plagiarism test for the organization purpose, so where that organization will should check that plagiarism test?
No, I couldn't get it. For what purpose you want to do?
suppose I am working in a organization, private organization.
Okay. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you want to check the like you can approach the colleges now, you can find out, like in our college where I'm the principal, we have
Okay.
a licensed this one plagiarism software, and we do it as a community service. So there must be, if you're interested, you can send me the paper also. It will be plagiarism checked free of cost, and the report will be sent to you, or you can find out some other colleges or the university.
Okay. Okay. Will they charge it for something?
See, I don't know about other
Okay.
colleges, my dear, but
Okay.
we
Okay.
don't charge. Yeah, we do it for
Okay.
community service. So we will
Okay.
be most happy to do the plagiarism check.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm. Any other question? Everyone could visualize how a research paper looks like now. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now we have impact factor. This I've given you the calculation of impact factor. Impact factor actually we get at the journals. So journals ka impact factor depends upon the how many times the papers which are published in the journal are cited. It varies from every year. So that is the impact factor journal. And this one is of H index and I-10 index. You can also find it from Google Scholar. So what is the H index and I-10 index of your paper, of your collection of papers, or also of the organization? So I am sure that my lecture was beneficial to you. So I wish you good luck for preparation of your research paper. Thank you. And I welcome all the questions now. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Any questions, anyone?
Good evening,
So,
ma'am.
yeah.
Can you suggest any journal names which are Scopus indexed and but they are quite reasonable? As I'm working in private institution, so it is compulsory to publish in Scopus
Yeah.
index, but they are not budget friendly. So can you suggest any
I
journals?
you have to look into the websites, search according to your subject. You have to search them. I don't have it in my, like now I cannot say, but you have to search it in what's your subject, madam?
Food technology.
Yeah, so you have to search it. Which college?
It's Shivaji University, CNC
Shivaji
Degree.
University. So you can, because now in the websites you get it, so you can just search for it and get through.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Because now UGC care is also not taken up, no? UGC care concept has gone, no? You have to do it in Scopus or in Web of Science.
Yes, ma'am.
It is
Okay.
difficult now to getting the Scopus now.
Yes, I have searched many options, but they are quite expensive. So
I
working in
know,
a
I
private
understand.
institution,
I understand, but you have to keep on searching. This way, it's difficult to say, like which particular year, because nowadays everything, money making it has become, what to say.
yes,
Hmm.
that's an option, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, if there are no questions, then we can wind up the session. The organizers,
Excuse me, ma'am.
please. Yes.
Good evening, ma'am. I was the host for the session today, but due to
Yeah.
some technical problem, I couldn't join in the beginning. So, can we
Okay.
do a formal Okay, can you give me a few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Because now I think after this amazing session, the participants will be more eager to know about their expert for the day. So, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. As this was over, this was a successful faculty development program on advanced tool and technique for research methodology. This whole 10-day event was organized by Research Foundation of India in association with Parul University, Gujarat, sponsored by Shodh Malwa, Eklavya University, JHARF, ARGA, and Education Academic Inc. Our today's expert is none other than Dr. Moshami Datta. Ma'am, it was a wonderful and interactive session, first of all.
Thank
Talking
you.
about ma'am, she holds a PhD in geography and management both, and she serves as a PhD guide in geography at the University of Mumbai. And she is currently serving as the principal of Nagindas Khanwala College, Mumbai. With 27 years of teaching experience, she possesses technical expertise in education technology, remote sensing, GIS, and GPS. Her scholarly contributions include the publication of 90 research papers, co-editing 8 books, authoring 2 reference books, and 8 textbooks. She has secured 3 patents. Also, she has been awarded by many awards such as Best Researcher Award by EET, Award for Contribution in Research by Indus Foundation USA, the Real Superwoman Award by Forever Star India Award 2020. I again thank you, ma'am, on behalf of the team of Research Foundation of India. Thanks to you, ma'am, for this wonderful interactive session. Thanks to all the participants for the that we had today and for the all 10 days. Here we conclude our 10-day workshop on advanced tools and technique for research methodology. Thanks to all the mentors that we had for these days. Thanks to all the participants. Keep learning.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.